All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Speedy. Welcome to NotSoSpeedRuns. We are here with Blades in the Dark 6 and 20, our wonderful tabletop series. We are joined by a wonderful cast here today. I want to thank Kitty for that amazing raid coming in. Guys, if you don't follow Kitty, do it. She's like the best. Awkward Kitty Inc. We were hanging out
like the best?
She's like the best. I might even go so far as to say that she is the best. I know. But she's absolutely great. We'd spent a lot of time together at TwitchCon, and she was just spending time before this. Her stream was drawing like a really cute picture of like us together, and it's really cute, and you should just go follow her. But yeah. Also, Simply JXN, go follow her as well. But you guys, it's good to see you again. It's good to have Alex back here. We missed you last week while you were off gallivanting about in San Francisco.
San Francisco. I'm so sorry. Right, this stranger hath returned. It's like the prodigal son. I'm sorry. I'm back.
Honestly, thank you for the host as well. But let's go ahead and get started by going around to our cast, and you guys tell us how you're doing today, who you are, and what's the deal? What are we doing here? Who are you? Who are you playing? All that good stuff. Words. Trendane.
Oh, yeah.
I'm starting with yes. That's a thing that I should say. We
maybe
always start Trendane
because I presumed that for once you'd go with somebody else first.
No. Why would I ever do that?
Maybe you want to change things up because it's a new month.
Absolutely not.
So hi, I would be Trent Sparks, a professional voice actor and memory manager. No, clearly not. Audiobook narrator. That's the other thing that I do. I'm playing Hocus, the Whisper, who is currently not really in his body, thanks to kind of thanks to Nyx. Kind of thanks. Last time, MadameGandalf, we forgoed the descending of testicles, or the dropping of passing the. We didn't do this thing with the spheres,
Right.
so we just just to see how it now that it's. See, if I had a pumpkin, I would drop the kind of headless horseman thing, but it's after Thanksgiving. No, it's not.
No,
it's after
not.
Halloween. I know.
So there's still pumpkins about. There's Thanksgiving pumpkins still, right?
That's true. That's true. But just in time.
Or you have your Halloween pumpkin that you need to get rid of. Probably rotten a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's probably gone a little moldy.
Right. That's why I didn't want to drop it on you, because it's gross, ready to go into the compost heap.
Not to my tomato soup.
But tell us about your tomato soup and also yourself.
Well, thank you. That was very gracefully descended upon.
Yes.
Hi, my name is MadameGandalf. I am eating a grilled cheese and tomato soup, which is really, really nice right now, because it is cold in Oregon, which is where I am at the moment. Because unfortunately, I am doing a big holiday. And
Unfortunately.
In a way, it's like a blessing and a curse all at once, but I'm having fun. So yeah, I play Ari. Ari is a little bit of an unpredictable ball of emotions who mostly tries to gear towards fun. If she thinks it's going to be fun, it's most likely that she'll make it happen. But I am now going to pass this on to the lovely, the hairful, because we always like his hair, but he never accepts our compliments on it, Joff.
Oh, hello. My name is Joff, commonly known as Owlbare here on Twitch and over on Twitter. That is Owlbare, bear as in, not as in.
No, wait.
I had to think. Is that the right way around? I hope so. I play the cutter, Jinx Godifer. That's cutter as in he likes to cut people, not as in something else. And I'm going to go to jail. How are you, Louise?
I'm well, and not in jail yet. Yay. Good for Sling, That's who I play. I'm Louise, I play Sling. She is a 17-year-old sharpshooter who isn't doing so sharp at the moment, but it's fine, it's all fine. Everything is fine. Back to you. That's Larry, by the way. Back to you.
Good old Larry. What would we do without him?
He's not that old.
He's
I
quite
mean,
young,
but
actually.
he's
How dare you
very
assume
good.
his
Good enough
age,
to make up for
Speedy?
it. I'm Speedy, and I'm the host here, and I'm playing as Sky, the spider, who is currently very obsessed with trying to get his sister reconciled, so her ghost can roam free and be not crazy. We're gonna be going into the game in just a moment, but first I have a couple of announcements I want to make. This is the second to last episode of Season 2. I know I said that last time, but this time I mean it. This is the penultimate episode of Season 2 of Blades in the Dark 6 and 20. We are doing a fan art giveaway at the end of this season that we will be choosing a winner for. You can make cool fan art for the show, and it'll be, enter it with hashtag 6 and 20 art, and we will be giving away a copy of the system Blades in the Dark on stream to one lucky winner, and it'll be a really awesome time. Also, subs and donors get their name on a wonderful Goatshella poster, which you can see right there, and also on the Goatshella tour shirt. So you can get your name on the lineup, or get whatever goat pun you want on the lineup by subbing or donating.
And we've been coming up with a lot of them, so you guys have no excuse not to
Can
be
I
sending-
can I add an addition? Can I get
Yes.
Lionel Richie?
Oh,
Yes. You can, I guess. But also, in addition to the fact that donations will get you on that Goatshella poster, all this month, for the entire month of November, you may have noticed this glorious mustache upon my face, and the beard that is no longer there. Oh my god, Shlia just donated $30.
nice.
All donations right now are going towards the Movember Foundation, which supports men's health. That means things like prostate cancer. It means suicide, because men are 4 times more likely to commit suicide on average. And just trying to, raise awareness about men's health issues. So thank you so much for that donation. My God, we'll be doing some stuff throughout the campaign. I'll probably be shaving some other things on my body. It'll be a good time.
You also get rewards, don't you? If you donate, you can
You
do
also-
things in the campaign.
Yeah,
in the
and
session.
you can do things in the campaign with your donations. So
But
you
I mean,
can-
give us all criticals.
Yes, exactly. Give us critical successes or failures, but let's not talk about that.
No. Let's not go into that.
It's a shroud thing.
Exactly. But really, I really appreciate that, Shlia. It's super awesome of you. But yeah, so if you are willing to donate, and Shlia, if you want to DM me or Johnny about what bonuses you want to give characters for that, some crits all around, perhaps. That would be a thing you could do.
See him nodding? See Johnny nodding there like that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That means he wants you to give us crits so that
Yeah.
we succeed on everything we do with no complications. Also, during this month, I'll be doing. I promised I would do this. That I would do shots if someone donated $8 or more and wanted me to do that. So I don't have any shot glasses, but I do have this Chess X dice container to do them out of.
Oh my
Technically, that is 3 shots, just so you know.
Not
It
that
is
I,
4
I'm not
know.
filling
It is 4.5 ounces.
Why do you know exactly
Yeah,
how much
exactly.
many shots that is?
Ding, ding, ding. There we go.
Listen, Speedy, I've got 20 years on you, at least, buddy. I've done
I've been to
things that I'm not
college,
proud
man. I've been to college, man.
of.
D&D was big when I was in college, man.
But yeah, so that is where all donations will be going this month. You can donate to give crits. You can donate to add an NPC to the world. I think we had that as a $15 donation thing. And you can create an NPC and insert them into the world and do something cool with that. So, awesome. So Shalia gave 3 crits to me and 3 to Alex. So.
Wow, that's gonna go well. Because
So you guys are the only ones rolling today, right?
Joff's got so much.
Joff's got a lot of roles to do. That is exactly how it works.
We're just gonna have to help him a lot.
Well, just remember, guys. I don't know if you guys do this, but I know on the Shroud they can pass the crits around. So if you guys want to do that, I'm okay with that as well.
Okay.
So yeah, I always figured that Ari and Speedy would kind of get together because it sort of kind of goes that way anyway.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I don't know. She was kind of macking on Jinx the last time.
Oh, that was for
that
the
was
shits.
out of
that was
convenience.
that was to save his life. That wasn't the same thing. But I figured that Grin and I mean I know there's a bit of an age difference between Grin and Sling, but they always have a bit of a buddy camaraderie thing.
There's a bit of an age difference between Sky and Ari too. Sky's like 40, Ari's like 20.
And
Leslie, thank you so much for that donation. Leslie donates $25.
oh man, you are gonna be a
Wow.
fucked up team lead by the time this thing is over.
Oh,
Wowie.
my God.
As long as you don't start slurring and stuttering like Greg
Steam?
did last week. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
No promises. Also, you have to.
You need to start filling that thing, buddy. It's 4.5 ounces, man. Come on, get it in there.
Drink
Oh
up.
God. Oh God.
You did this to yourself.
I
That's
did
all
this
I can
myself.
say.
I did. All right. But yeah, we can go ahead and get started. So I'll turn things over to Johnny to tell us what has happened since the last time we were here and what happened on the one shot this past weekend that might have some sort of impact on.
Okay,
things.
guys, we're 20 minutes into the hour, so I'm going to make this really short and sweet because there actually is a lot that needs to happen tonight. So let's start with what happened last week. Mr. Godefroy went to jail. Jinx turned himself in after spending a good amount of downtime and effort positioning himself to be able to have the perfect escape plan. And a lot of that involved making sure that he could escape and take people with him. Specifically, he had mentioned Ulf and Samandra. He did also learn the locations, and we kind of hand-waved this a little bit as a part of that, but he kind of learned the locations of the rest of the rescued from the end of season 1. So that's going to be interesting. Also last week, the artist formerly known as Esther got together with DJ Hocus and put together, ooh, that looks like a good bottle, put together these neat little things out of Leviathan teeth called Demon Killer Bullets.
Woo.
Man, that was a really interesting affair there. And after all of that weird sort of interesting sort of setting it all up to go into the mix, Sky decided that he wanted to find out more details about the circumstances around the Red Dwarf and his minions, his foot soldiers. He discovered that they were spending a great deal of time in Barrowcleft. He tracked one of them down and tracked them to the location at which they were staying inside of Barrowcleft. We learned a little bit about the culture of Barrowcleft districts, in that it is unique and that they police themselves, and that it is a quite... What's going on there, Trend? Come on.
Speedy's face while he's drinking this stuff. It's just...
Are you drinking straight vodka and just,
It's not
chasing
vodka,
it with...
it's Baiju. It's really cheap Chinese liquor.
Ooh.
And really
That's
alcohol.
worse, I think.
You really don't want to go to work tomorrow, do you?
What did you say the percentage was? 50%
53%.
alcohol.
53%.
Oh, that's nothing. Don't make me bust out the Japanese whiskey. Anyways, so Hocus eventually takes a lead from Sky and decides to go and pay a visit to the Red Dwarf, who we learn is named Talk, spelled T-O-C-K, and who talks about the circumstances around which there was some concern, which was Coachella in Onkart Park, with what appears to be a series of structures designed to commit some sort of ritual. Now, all of that happened last week. All of that was kind of crazy. And then Nyx approached Hocus and asked him for his help. Nyx had an unusual ghostly experience upon visiting Lord Penderin at the Archive of Echoes and needed some help, to which Hocus was able to assist Nyx and make a deal, because during last week's series of events, when Hocus was speaking to Talk, he had a flashback to something that happened in his previous lives, generations back, almost more than 1,000 years, since before the creation of the well. During that series of events, Hocus learned some really interesting things, and so did Sky and Nyx. Nyx and Sky were taken along as anchors so that Hocus would not get lost. Subsequently, we also found out that OC, who was brought to protect Nyx in the situation where he was vulnerable, was also sucked into the spiritual vortex that was Hocus, and learned that 200 plus years ago in Udwasha, at the foot of the well, Nai was alive and well and running to meet Caius, the man in white. And so now we find ourselves in a situation where Sky has, I believe, returned Hocus's body to the rail yard car, but Hocus will not wake up. And Hocus's situation is actually a fair bit different. He has been stripped from his body, or disconnected from his body. Do you want to go a little bit into that and what happened briefly last night for Nyx?
In the process of pulling everyone out of the trip down memory lane, as it has been called, Nyx used the power of the ghost contract and abolishing it to pull them all out rather suddenly. The process of which sort of yanked Hocus from his body. His body's still alive and still functioning and keeps almost like talking in its sleep, sort of chanting 4 names over and over and over again. Meanwhile, his spirit is actually with Nyx, teaching him to attune properly without using the dagger to cut into the veil between ghost field and mortal realm, thus causing greater and greater damage to it. So Hocus needs to find his way back.
Okay. And I don't think that we had an ultimate decision about what actually happened there. Did you?
Nope.
Did you want to take care of that while we, or do you want to kind of figure that out while that's in the background?
We've got a lot of stuff to do. We'll just hand wave it that he and Jot and Tittle and whoever this new ghost is that has attached itself to
okay.
him, Flotilla, have walked back.
Okay, so eventually you will get back there.
Yep.
So we open with, after the events of the one shot, where do we find everybody at this point? Back at the rail car? Besides Jinx. Jinx is now off to jail.
Yeah, probably at the rail car.
Okay. We didn't really treat that experience with the Red Dwarf as a score. It was more of sort of free play action. So you guys are still technically in free play right now. How do you guys want to proceed forward? Do you want to receive a visit? Because the rooks are going to provide some information to Sky eventually. Do you want to start with that? Or do you want to start someplace else?
Oh, God. The information from the rooks. I forgot about that. We can start there.
Yeah, start.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that.
So, because your rooks are essentially drugged in purveyors in Crowsfoot, you receive an urgent message that you are needed, Sky, to visit you're actually they're asking you to visit because they can't actually step away from it at this point. So when you arrive, the scene as you walk into the drug den is quite unusual because unlike most circumstances where the drug den is usually a very quiet affair, there is a lot of hubbub going on. There are people clamoring for drugs, and there's a little bit of a chaos, as if circumstances have changed inside of Crowsfoot. And subsequently, you find out that yes, the circumstances have changed, and everybody is now able to walk the streets freely. Lockdown has gone away. Martial law is about to be lifted as soon as the lightning barrier tower opens. But so everybody who was respecting the rule of law and staying off the streets or avoiding it because they didn't want to get caught are now in a circumstance where they're going to their drug purveyors. They're going to their pleasure dens. They're going to get drunk. They're going to get, they're going for pleasure of every kind. And so all of these places are kind of filled right now because these are people clamoring for things that they could not necessarily do previously. Now, all of that begins to get weird when your rook at the drug den pulls you aside and says, much has changed. This is no longer a safe place for you to be. Do not come back to Crowsfoot. Bless you. And he lays out...
My thoughts exactly.
Exactly. I thought that summed up everything that we were
Oh, it really did.
In one emotion.
Subsequently, he lists the following things. Much has changed. Goal is dead. It is not clear what exactly happened, although his headless body was found. And there are rumors that his head was seen in the leaky bucket. But those reports, those rumors were sketchy at best. Their sashes are in disarray. Not only are they leaderless, but there is no structure of leadership at this point. And it appears that orders are coming from the Eruvian consulate itself.
I'm sorry, did you say Gull's dead? Martin Gull.
Martin Gull is dead. His body was discovered in one of our other drug dens, next to the body of one of the Red Sash lieutenants. Blood everywhere. Their heads were taken there. Nobody else was found. That den has been closed down temporarily as the Eruvians send sashes to try to figure out what's going on, but it's clear that the Eruvians do not trust anybody in the sashes at this point.
So it's not safe for us here then, that's all you gotta say?
It is not safe in Crowsfoot for you right now. There are rumors that there was a shift in leadership in the Crows last night. Now, even more. That's the most important information, but I've got other things for you. And this is also quite concerning. There are many couriers that are exchanging notes between noble families, essentially the 6 strongest families. And subsequently, last night, a number of the iron ships are starting to prepare to head out to sea. All of the noble families, all of the Leviathan hunter ships that are working for these 6 families, all appear to be preparing to leave at around the same time. They're not sure what's going on, but it's got the 6 families concerned. Concerned enough to send their ships. Howard Keel. Go ahead.
When are they heading? When are they planning to leave?
Soon, within the next day or two. They are provisioning, they are arming up and hiring as many mercenaries as possible, and they are heading out to sea.
And there's no word why.
It has not been made clear to us yet. I do not know if I'll be able to gain that information for you. Again, Crowsfoot is in doubt at this point. My talking to you might get noticed and might get me in trouble with your Ruians. Tobias Keel is out for blood. Somebody betrayed him multiple times, and now he is out for absolute blood. He is sending various interested parties after to the Dimmer sisters, to parts in Crowsfoot, and he is meeting resistance because it's clear that whoever is opposing him is showing force.
Where is he?
And he's at his estate right now in Brightstone. And last, and most important, it is rumored that Lord Skurlock is returning, and he's bringing a large contingent of Imperial soldiers to Dulsquall.
Returning to the
From
city?
the Imperial City.
And bringing an Imperial army. Any word where they'll be marching?
They'll be coming into the station. I don't know if they'll be stationed specifically at the rail yard or if they'll be moving to White Crown. But it is rumored that it is a company. You know, and in military terms of that, in respect to the size of armies in Dulsquall, that's about 500 soldiers, 500 personnel.
All right. You said Gull's body was found in one of your establishments?
He was.
Were there any witnesses?
None left alive.
Which one? Which establishment?
He points you to one, or indicates one that was, that is very close to the Ariavian school.
Thank you. I'll take my leave now. Keep my
I
head
don't
on
recommend you coming to us again until I send word that it's okay. If you need to get in contact with me, use a courier. They are seen as neutral and safe. But be careful. Messages are being read all over the place.
Understood. I'd like to go to the place where Gull's body was found.
Okay. So when you get there, it appears to be completely closed up. There appears to be some sort of indicator, like a permanently closed kind of a sign, kind of a thing, whatever the equivalent in Crowsfoot would be, and it's dark in there.
Damn it! Slam my fist on the door. What am I gonna tell her? Just kind of stand there, pacing till he can kind of find his composition.
So as you're kind of finding your composition, you hear something that kind of tickles the back of your, like, it's a sound that just causes the back of the hairs on the back of your neck to kind of rise a little bit. And it's coming from inside.
Is the door boarded up, or?
It is closed and it appears to be locked, but you know from experience, I mean, granted, you're a career criminal, you can get in.
get in.
Okay. Once inside, it's incredibly dark. Again, because of Duskfall Estate, typically there are lamps always on in interior locations, the world estate. But all the lamps are extinguished, so any light that's coming in is ambient light coming from the outside from the street lamps. And you can see a little bit of a glow going into the room itself, but farther back, where the noise is coming from, in a back room, it's completely dark.
I first want to attune to the ghost field.
Okay, go ahead and roll it. No position, no effect. This is essentially a situation completely out of the context of chance. I just want to know how clearly you actually see into this.
Okay. 5.
Okay. So as with everything, the ghost field comes into a focus, and you see the room glow in the ambient light of the spectral energy, and you see the shapes on the walls. You see a much stronger particular shape, a mass sort of like irradiating from the doorway, but you can't actually see through the wall of the doorway to see what's actually irradiating this ambient blue light.
Make my way towards it.
Inside, you see the figure of a spirit crying, weeping over the body, decomposing body of the Eruvian soldier. Gull's body is not anywhere to be found. However, sitting in the corner is a stone-faced Martin Gull as a spirit. And he doesn't appear to notice you when you enter the room, nor does the figure that's crying over the dead body.
Oh, well, he's gonna notice me real fast. I walk my way across the room, and irrationally, Sky forces his way over to Gull and tries to pin him against the wall via his neck.
All right, this is a case where I definitely think we need to do a roll of some kind, but I'm not sure necessarily attune makes sense because you've already attuned in a controlled situation. I mean, it's a completely controlled circumstance. This is also something you're doing something for the first time that you've never attempted before, which is to physically interact. And there are abilities that allow you to do that, but you don't have any of those abilities as far as I know. So I'm thinking that a fortune roll makes sense in this case, and no love, Louise, not this time.
Can I use a crit?
You could use a crit and just make that happen. Well, in most cases, fortune rolls don't make sense, but I'm going to allow it this time because this has so much play into your backstory. Okay, so describe to me what it's like when you actually grab this spirit. While you're corporeal, you have physical form, but you're grabbing an incorporeal thing. What does that look like? What does that entire act look like?
Sky, he's attuned to the ghost field, but he's so emotional right now that he's not even thinking about the fact that Gull is a spirit. It's not so much that he's so attuned that he can do this, it's just that he's so angry that he doesn't give a damn whether this man is alive or dead, that he's just going to shove him against the wall. And Gull, through this, is going to look very confused. Because he's a spirit, a recent one. He doesn't even know why he's dead. Possibly. Or that he's dead. And so Gull, looking up at him with confused eyes, with maybe a touch of recognition, but not able to place it exactly, Guy will look at him. What the hell gives you the right to die?
He gurgles at first, his throat being constricted, feeling the physical presence of you actually, constricting his throat, grabbing him by the throat. But his voice begins to come out after that. And you get a sense, whereas he doesn't, but you get a sense that he is not completely adapted to the idea that he is dead. So he's reacting at first in the way that his physical form would, but then ultimately responding as if nothing is actually happening. But it's clear that from the way he's emoting and the way that he's expressing himself, he's not aware of it yet. He makes the gurgling sound at first, and then he says, "What do you mean, die? I was sitting right here. Put me down, you." And he looks around at the room. "Where are my men?"
Your men? I don't know. Could be dead like you, but they're not sticking around. Maybe they betrayed you. Maybe they watched you die. Maybe they helped. The hell did you do?
Why is it dark in here? Why?
Lights
And he
out.
moves. He moves to push your hand away to try to break himself. And when his hand passes through your arm, he looks at it. He's like, and for the first time, he begins to realize that something is wrong. And it is that you lose grip on him. You lose hold on his spirit. And his physical form, his spectral form, floats down to the ground as he can be clearly seen standing inside of the chair that he was just sitting in. I'm dead.
Yeah. You get it yet? What's the last thing you remember?
That woman. And he begins to describe OC's sash that was wrapped around her neck, or around his neck, and describes the circumstance of it being wrapped around as she held him, standing out in front of her as he was demanding that she release him. And she had a couple with her. And he begins to describe Nyx.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Fucking bastard. Why? Why were they after you?
And for the first time, he looks shocked, but uncertain, as if all of the anger from his life has bled away from him. And his face softens for just a second. And he says, "I honestly don't know. They wanted..." And he raises his hand in a very human gesture to his face. They wanted something about a girl. Some information about a girl.
What girl?
I don't... It's getting a little fuzzy. Or it is. Something about a girl named Lizette.
Now
Something
that is
something about the
scary.
Dimmer sisters. And as he continues to remember these things, the idea of his humanity, the idea of his physical form, the idea that he was once alive, is beginning to leave him. And so his transformation, his awakening to the awareness of his situation is beginning to cause him to lose that contrast, that incomplete focus that new spirits can have sometimes. Do you smell that? That smells good. I'm hungry. And he looks at you for a second. Why do you smell like sausage and ale? No, that's not right. And you hear, as he begins to talk about this from behind you, the spirit at the floor looks up and says, he's going to be hungry soon. This will be the first time. And when you look back to acknowledge the fact that this spirit was speaking to you, it is the voice of an older woman in her 40s. In death, her face still has the lines of her life. She has a particular glow and a focus and a circumstance, a certain sureness to her image. It's almost like she's permanent in this particular way. You're going to need to leave. He's going to feed on you soon if you don't.
I've been through worse.
This one, I saw him in life. I saw the dealings that my son, and she looks down at the body. I saw his dealings with him. This one is brutal. In death, he will be just as brutal. I don't recommend staying. It'll be a fight, even if you are strong enough to survive it.
What do you do with him? Anything?
Leave him. I'm not here for him. I have no interest. My son will soon rise, and hopefully I can show him the way. But when that hunger comes on, not like his, I don't think it can ever be satisfied. And she looks back down at her son. As you can see that Gull is beginning to lean in at you. And just kind of looking at you with weird, strange, unworldly, otherworldly eyes of just hunger. As you see, he reaches back behind his back, and you see him grabbing for something on his back, and he brings out something that looks like a knife, but its shape is spectral. Its blade sort of wispy and not quite there. moving on. He begins to reach for you.
You want something to eat? Go. You're not the only one. Not the last. You won't be the first, you won't be the last. Do you remember? You remember a girl? Used to work for you?
Shh. Reaching his arm out for you, you can see that the blade is posed and ready.
Do you remember Lyra?
He won't remember anything until he feeds. You hear the voice behind you of the woman. He'll need to feed, but he will not be able to pay for whatever crimes you seek.
You don't understand.
Shh, it's okay. Grabbing you behind the neck for the first time, you feel
Get
the
off
tickle.
of me.
You can't move him at this point. What effect you had on him has changed. Shh.
What the fuck is Hocus? Ma'am, I have a favor to ask of you, and I'm walking away at this point.
Okay. No, come here. I'm not gonna hurt you. And you're seeing for the first time, Gull's image is shifting a little bit. As if the memory is shifting of the activity that he's doing. And you get a sense that he is looking very much like the man that your sister would have known. A much younger version.
Ooh, somebody gonna die.
Ma'am, whatever this fucker does, could you tell me? Wherever he ends up? I know you've got your own son to worry about, but I can see it in you. You're still a part of this world, one way.
Gull continues to move very slowly towards you, saying things that just infuriate you. The woman looks up at you and she says, "This one won't be hard to find. Eventually, the wardens or the gondoliers will take care of him."
Okay. If that's all it takes, then sure. But if they don't, if they can't, I need to know.
Oh, it'll be a bloody path. They are very busy right now.
Figures.
They are not retrieving every body. They are not taking all the spirits. Crowsfoot is getting busy. It's getting loud.
Right. That much is clear. Death left
Shh, come here. It's okay.
You let me know. You can find me by the tracks, alright? I'm sorry about your son, ma'am. This man, he's been responsible for much more than that. I'm sure you know that.
You can see that her son is beginning to rise from the body. And it's a little weird at first, because with Gull just, again, trying to creep up on you, as the body begins, or as the spirit begins to lift out of the body, for the first time you see a head on the shape of the torso, as it just kind of lifts up, and it's a spectral head that just kind of... And she looks down at her son and she says, "I have much to tend to myself. But if I come to you with this information, there will be a price to pay."
I will pay it.
Shh. And he's real close now. As you are standing sort of sideways to him, he's starting to reach out for you again.
Thank you, ma'am. Slam the door behind me. I don't care if you can walk through it. I walk away.
As you begin to walk away, you get one last look at him, and he is the vision of the young man that your sister knew.
Go mark my words, you will get what you deserve.
And that's roll call scene. Okay.
Sorry, that's okay.
Awesome. Very good job. That was really, really cool.
Nice.
Okay. So I'm going to assume that we're cutting back to the rail car with Sky finding Hocus finally awaking. And with probably Ari and Sling sort of taking a look at the situation. Or where do we find Ari and Sling while this is going on?
I imagine that Ari would probably be nearby and just kind of observing, maybe laughing to herself a bit.
Yes.
Are you still
Sling.
talking with Sky's sister? Are you still doing that whole interaction thing?
Yeah.
I believe she would be right up until it was no longer an option, really.
Okay.
And Sling's got nowhere else really to go, so
True. Oh, shit. Shots. That's right.
you've got 5 lined up. I've been counting.
You brought this upon yourself.
I did.
Let's pause and let you take all the shots.
You can continue doing that. Also, Ari, just so you know, during the one shot, when Sky went off with Hocus to go into the whole memory thing, he left Lyra in your care, so you could talk to her for a while. Protect her and stuff.
Ah, I had roles, important parts. Yay.
But Sky walks back into the rail car, slams the door shut behind him, and goes off into kind of like a back room snatches Lyra out of your hands, and is just gonna kind of sulk there. He doesn't really have anything to say to Lyra. He's mostly looking for comfort from her. He's not gonna say anything about what happened.
Meanwhile,
You guys can talk.
Hocus is his body's still kind of laid out on what I guess technically would be his bed, and still more or less unconscious. But he's still chanting the same 4 names that he has been chanting since he basically fell backwards out of the ritual. And those 4 names are Ixis, Chayat, Chuset, and Sesereth, which are the names of the 4 demon princes in the crystals surrounding the well in Uduasha. And he's just repeating them over and over and over again.
So I have a question for you, since we didn't discuss this previously. Is there, when Hocus finally wakes up, is there any particular event that would wake him up? Like, is there something that just when he arrives back? I imagine that the reassociation of the spirit, the body, and the spirit, the ghost, that is Hocus, coming back together, there's going to be a certain amount of like dormant or downtime that goes along with that. After that happens, what would be the event that wakes him up, or would he wake up in shock? What would do that?
Well, he got back before Sky did.
Okay.
And he's just the body is still chanting, but he's spiritually unconscious in a sense,
Right.
Incorporating himself. But I imagine that when Sky returns, and in all probability slams the rail car door shut, that noise would just and he immediately grabs for the mask to put it back on if it's not on.
Okay. So while Sky is sulking and Hocus is beginning to recover his composure, Ari receives a courier message in a roundabout way that eventually gets delivered to her about the final planning for Gochella. And
oh no. Oh
there
no.
is there is a request for anyone who is involved in the planning and management and sponsorship to attend a final, essentially meeting prior to the day of the night before, where there is a lightning tower, with the lightning tower opening, and then subsequently the festival happening itself as this kind of part of the celebration of that. So there's a last minute change that needs to happen, apparently.
Okay. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start panicking and going up to Sling and saying how the caterer that we specifically requested is no longer that same caterer. How dare they change this on me?
That is absolutely ridiculous. Honestly, they didn't even give me any prior
goat's
warning.
cheese at this event, and they are not allowing goat's cheese.
It's not even worth. It's not even worth going anymore. Honestly, this is an absolute travesty.
I'm seriously starting to question their dedication to Coachella.
Like, seriously, and now the more I think about it, I feel this festival, I swear, has never happened before. The more I think about it, the more weird this whole thing seems. And they don't even have goat cheese at Coachella. This is.
I mean, there's a whole bunch of other goat products that we were trying to push, and why would cheese not be part of it?
Exactly. I saw them putting around goat tote bags, but cheese.
Gotems, like totems, but gotems.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Honestly, I would throw all those totems into the canal if it could just mean we have one piece of authentic goat's cheese. Okay.
I mean, it doesn't even involve killing the damn goat. What the hell?
Oh my god.
Exactly. The goat still lives at the end of all of this.
Right. Okay. Let's take a breather. What are we going to do about this?
Well, apparently there's a meeting, and we could bring it up at this big meeting. They said something important about sponsors and all that jazz, but let's go to the meeting. We'll bring it up at the meeting how we demand goat's cheese at Coachella.
Ideal. Perfect plan.
Cool.
When's the meeting? Is it now? I think it should be now. Let's make it now.
Is that this?
Write them back. Tell them we're having it right now.
Okay. And so with that little exchange and circumstance, you take a look at the planning because of the discussion about it being very soon. You realize, Sling, as you look at the calendar of events that are coming up, that somebody should be arriving for you very soon.
Yay. If I look at this calendar, and I am assuming I have it like circled, just like Coachella, this past man coming back. Ooh, there's like a skull and crossbones and a question mark next to it, like maybe
Dear
death.
diary, today
is this man scheduled to come before Coachella, on Coachella, or just after Coachella?
He's scheduled to come before.
That's not great. Okay.
The day before.
The day before, right. Okay. Something else that I think we should probably bring up in a conversation with our little meeting thing. I reckon, okay, Coachella, it's fantastic that we have the whole weekend, but, what's better than a weekend? A long weekend. Let's start it a day early as well, just to, more goats. Who can deny that?
Do we have more music, though? That's the...
Oh, I mean...
You do need to fill in that day with some music.
What if we take a little bit of a step back, and instead of music on the first day, we do
goats.
Live theatre involving goats. Goat improv.
Like interpretive dance, but with goats.
Yeah.
You guys are horrible. Okay. Now, so the question is...
Goat du Soleil!
Yes,
Okay.
we'll have a whole day of circus goats dedicated. And, it's because I really need something to do on that day. Yes, I've nothing else planned at all. So that would be nice. That would be lovely. And security's pretty good there, isn't it? Coachella securities. Yeah. Yeah, no, it'll be great. That'll be a good plan, I think.
A gooder?
I
Sling
agree
is not educated.
All right.
The mood of the stream has changed dramatically.
Just a
That's what
bit.
it was 10 minutes.
So, with all of that going on, I'm going to transition over to Jinx really quick. In setting up the circumstance of him going to jail and what Ironhook actually is like. So, last we found Jinx, he was being loaded into a blue coat carriage after turning himself to a blue coat station. I believe it was Char Hollow, was it?
Yep.
You find yourself being loaded into a carriage filled with a couple of other ruffian types who are also being sent to Ironhook. That journey in that closed carriage where you can't see outside is really painful because one of the ruffians that are being sent with you smells absolutely horrible. In fact, he smells a lot like goat shit, like he has been shoveling it. So the stink really gets to you on that long journey. And the journey takes a good half hour because there are a lot of stops along the way. Not necessarily to add anybody, it's just a slow process. And
I
through
thought this was
time,
Goatchella, not Goat Smeller.
Oh,
that's horrible. In that time, you hear the sound of the cobblestones change, echoing into as you realize that you are being taken through a tunnel. And if you remember, that tunnel was the same tunnel, or you infer that it's the same tunnel that you were being taken through when you were chasing that individual who was Howard Keel's minion of some kind. Or sorry, Tobias Keel's, excuse me. I keep saying Howard. I keep doing that. Eventually, you find yourself coming out of that tunnel, and there is a big grinding noise and some screeching that lasts for a good 30 seconds. Hold on a second, guys.
In the meantime, while that's all going on.
I apologize.
Okay,
Somebody is
right.
incredibly rude that just showed up at the house. So I apologize. As you step forward, you go through the gate. You hear it grinding behind you, in the sound around you. And so when the gate actually, or so when the back door actually opens on the carriage itself, you get hit by another smell. It is dank, moldy, sort of this disgusting sort of wet smell that just kind of permeates just inside, and it is this cold, just nastiness as you step out into the dark courtyard that is Ironhook Prison. And when you look around, you see the structure of this courtyard extend 5 or 6 stories tall of stone structures, right? It is towers and this large, massive building structure behind you. And the walls just kind of go up. And while the courtyard is well lit, it is muddy and disgusting, and it smells of goat feces and other things just kind of decomposing in that courtyard area. As you, in your manacles, are dragged from the cart towards this large, imposing structure that is inside of the walls of Ironhook Prison. You are not treated very well. They constantly kick you or push you. A couple times you are thrown down, and you allow yourself to be thrown down because you are going to jail, and you know that that's why you're here, and you're not going to put up a fight just yet. You're not going to put yourself in a position just yet. Getting inside it is different in that it is hot and oppressive. Once the doors close behind you, there is so much heat radiating from the torches that line this walkway. It is an incredibly bright walkway full of benches along each side. As you are thrown down towards the end of that hall, and a gun is pointed at each of you, and you are told to strip. As there are new clothes put in front of you that are essentially your prison rags. Go ahead.
Does that obviously exposes my my contract mark, the burnt out contract mark?
Yes, but these are lowly guards. They don't pay attention to that at all, right?
Good.
So they're just like, they've got their guns trained on you. You're told to strip. You're told to put on your prison garbs. As you take off your clothes, and they're ripped out of your hands, and the pockets are gone through. Things are taken essentially from you. Whatever money, blades, anything else that you have on you, it's all taken away. Once in your prison garbs, you see that a couple of the guards are wearing new jackets. They're taking the shirts, kind of, eyeing them. You realize that this is just another element of the humiliation that you're going to be subjected to as you go into prison. Eventually, you are walked into a much larger area where some prison guard explains the circumstances, saying, your life is over. You are the worst of the worst. We're bringing you in here. You are going away forever. You're going into a deep, dark hole. And so as the prison guard kind of looks each of you over, he steps up, kind of looks at you a little bit, kind of, aren't you a big fellow? And you get word that your contact will be in touch with you within 24 hours. But for the next 24 hours, it is a disgusting experience in form of humiliation and circumstance, because you were taken to below ground, and it is cold down there, and you are given one blanket to sleep on a stone floor, and there are no windows. There is a hole for you to do your business, and you are given porridge twice a day.
So it's not all bad.
It's really bad porridge.
It's really bad porridge.
Lisa, can I have some more?
What a pleasant experience.
And there is the only light coming in is through the hole in the doorway from the torches. And it is at that point, when you think it can't get any worse, that the rats begin to start investigating you.
Awesome.
And we're going to cut back to the rest of the crew. Where do we find the rest of you?
Alex and Ari and I are making our way to this meeting that we are demanding to have immediately.
Well, so while you can demand to have that, it's not actually going to happen just yet.
Damn it. Well then, anybody else?
Yeah, Hocus is
Yeah, let's focus on
sitting.
too.
He's sitting on the side of his bed, just wrapped as tightly as he can in his robes, just shivering, and he looks very bad. Very, very bad. What little of his skin you can actually see when he's wearing all of his stuff is pallid and kind of ashen, and he's just shivering and coughing. Is what few times he actually speaks, his voice is very, very just rough and raspy.
Sky will come out of the room where he was talking to Lyra. and out to Hocus. And kind of look him up and down. You alright there, buddy?
It was far more difficult than I thought it was going to be. It will take me some time to recover fully.
It's unfortunate. You'll be ready by Goat Show, though, right?
I don't know what day is it.
Few days away.
Possibly. I can try.
Alright. Relax for now.
And he's going to start to slowly try to weave some rope.
Anything I can do to help?
But his fingers are shaking and he's having a very, very hard time because he is at full stress right now. He is on the verge of pretty much total collapse. I don't know. I just need time. Did you learn anything?
From our trip inside your head, or
Yes,
do you not remember?
it's muddled for the moment.
Well, seems like that world was a much brighter place. Giant orb in the sky and skies. Plenty of those plenty of people short like the red dwarf that we saw.
That was him.
There. So was the man in white. Face.
Wait, you saw
Together.
Chaos?
When they were alive, yes.
Are they not now?
Something like that.
That's
Well,
What did you see? What did you see of it?
please
Chaos.
be patient.
they it all went so fast. There was something about the children. They were Caius in particular. He was talking to all the children, being friendly. And well, when we followed them, we could hear them talking about some sort of ritual they were going to perform. I don't know what it was, but it sounded
Fucking
like
bastard.
right, Sling?
What? The children. He was speaking to the children.
What I said.
And to Esther.
Of course he was. Yes. My
Esther.
little Esther. Well, not my little Esther, her. Mine. Ours. It's complicated.
It was something else. It feels different. I don't know where it was someone else. I think it might have been Nye
Nye?
when she was alive.
I mean, OC was there.
She
talking
was
to-
in
She followed
room.
someone. We couldn't see all the way. She ran off.
And I was there with Chaos.
I don't think they were together. Well, I don't know.
This comes back tonight, doesn't it?
Pieces of it. I need time to piece it all together. It is not an easy thing to have 4 people in your mind at once.
Sorry about that. I only thought it was going to be 2.
I did as well. But I think that's part of why I'm in the state that I'm in. I had set up the ritual so that OC would be isolated from us, so that she would not be drawn in. I don't know if she walked beyond the glyphs that I had drawn, or something else went wrong. I just know that somehow she got inside. She sought Nye out. Perhaps.
Not even being alive back then.
There are a great many.
Ari, you knew in life.
There are a great many people who seem to move in circles near us who were alive back then in some way, shape, or another, but I worry that the piece of that thing that I carry may have thought to use me as much as I was using it. It may have drawn her in as one more piece of food. Suffice to say, the last thing that I really remember is something about Chaos saying that the comets were coming. I fear he may mean the stars which fell in Uduasha around the well, the 4 crystal spires which hold those, the great demon princes for which the various houses of Uduasha are named. Even my own family house is subservient in its way to one. That is where my house name, and Sesereth, comes from the demon prince Sesereth. The other 3 are Ixis, the hidden, Chayak, the wise, Huset, the swift. If this ritual that Chaos was trying to do back then involved children, and he is attempting to do some other ritual now.
We cannot let him.
No, we can't, especially not with the well in Uduasha ceasing its consumption of spirits. The Leviathans becoming harder and harder to find. There is far too much at play.
If Chaos's intention is to do as he did back then, I will not witness it again.
Nor will I.
We saw too much back then. I would rather gouge my own eyes out before seeing it again.
I suspect the problem with that is that you have already seen it once before.
Exactly.
The loss of your eyes will not help you. We also know that something, talk mentioned, something that he plans, not he, but Chaos plans to do at Coachella. The posts, the pillars which have been placed around where the audience is to be. It is part of his plan. I suspect the ritual may be taking place there. It could well be that the festival all those years ago that we witnessed in my memory is somehow connected to the festival surrounding Coachella. It may all be connected in a way
Then
that
we
don't
disrupt
understand.
it. We change it. We have time. We move the pillars, we change the audience, and when that bastard arrives, leave it to Asher.
We cannot kill him.
Watch me.
You don't understand. Talk made it very, very clear that if you think the world is dark now, you do not wish to see it if Chaos dies.
I don't think you understand, Hocus. The world, yes, may be darker if he dies, but what of my world? What of the world that I had, which he took from me before my eyes? I have been living with that for over 1,000 years. I care not for this world, Hocus. This world can burn for all I care. That thing is nothing to this world. He does nothing for this world.
He is death.
And that's what I'm going to kill.
You say that you lived 1,000 years ago, and I do not doubt this. But you remember back then what we commonly held as the Black Mirror, the gateway to the lands of the dead, the green fields. You remember these?
I remember too much.
Is that what Chaos did? Because I did not live through it. Did he crack the mirror? Did he destroy the gate to the lands of the dead?
Chaos did many a thing when he was alive. When I was alive, when I knew him, yes, that was part of it, but only part. He was a busy man. He had ambition. He had goals, experiments, breakthroughs, science. It was all so wonderful, and the people, they loved him for it. His purpose was not advancement or light or joy or the betterment of society. His purpose was dark. And what he did to my daughter, even worse. You know the abominations today called hulls or something like that. You are familiar with them.
I know of them.
How do you think they came to be? Do you think we just woke up one day and there they were, ready to be filled with some spirit? Or do you think they were created?
From the spirits of the children.
Not just the spirits from the bodies.
The spirits of the already dead.
My Esther was the perfect child. She listened, she did good, she was strong and agile, and Chaos saw that when I woke up. My husband and I woke up to see that she was gone. It took days to find her, to find my innocent little girl. And when I tracked her down, imagine my surprise to see Chaos there. The man who had it all, the man who was going to bring us all forwards, and my little girl destroyed from the inside out to make way for his advancement. Of course, the first experiment's never going to be the successful one, is it? There's always going to be the kinks that need to be worked out. She was not my daughter anymore. She was an abomination. And so she was burnt before my eyes. And I could do nothing to stop them. My husband, he learned of this, and he could not bear to live in a world that would do this to so innocent a creature, and he ended his own life too. And I was alone. I sought vengeance, of course, I did, but I couldn't get close enough. I could never. And I died alone, thinking maybe I would get peace, that I would see them again. But chaos held me back. That need to see him pay for what he did, I couldn't move on. I heard my husband, my daughter from the veil. I heard them calling to me, and I couldn't reach them. Not until Chaos was dead. And so I followed him for all these years, seeking that thing that I saw there. He is not even his own man, from what I saw. I believe he serves a darker master, darker somehow than even himself. And that, Hocus, is why I'm here. Why we're here. Why I'm in this body. Why I've melded. I was meant to not be here. People have tried to get me out, and I don't want to be in this body. Do you think I like this? Do you think this is what I wanted when I came? No. I just want Chaos dead. Sling, she has seen what I have seen. And I don't know if it's a merge of ourselves or if it's herself, but she wants him dead too. So you tell me, Hocus. You tell me. When I take those steps and that shot, are you going to stop me or not?
Yes.
Well then, I'm glad we had this talk. Sling's gonna turn and just leave.
Sling.
Yes? What?
You are still in there, right?
Of course I am. It's not give or take no more. It's both of us, both together. I truly believe that she won't be gone until Chaos is.
All right. Go on. It's fine.
I'll see you at Coachella. Ari, I'll see you at the meeting.
Aye, aye, Captain.
And she'll leave.
Okay, we're going to, and that was, I don't want to diminish how amazing that was. That was amazing, you guys. That was really awesome. But given the time, I'm going to cut to Jinx in another circumstance of his imprisonment. As 24 hours in the prison circumstance, even for all of the indecencies and the challenges of prison life, Jinx, it feels the presence the darkness, the circumstance that is Iron Hook Prison. It is completely demoralizing. And it takes every ounce of your will and your strength and your belief in yourself and everything that you've set up to not lose hope immediately. But it is at the moment where you're starting to doubt whether this was the right decision to make.
This was a good time to give up drinking.
Do you want to give up glue too? I'm sorry. The way you said that, it was perfect. Okay. So the door to your cell, the lock begins to turn as there's some metal scraping. Poor Larry. And it swings open, and there is a shadow silhouetted, or there's a silhouette of a figure in the doorway. As you're kind of looking up, as you stand up, you realize that it is the shape of your contact inside of the prison. He looks you over and says, "I tried to get here sooner. I'm sorry. There's been some changes to the way we're doing things here. It's not going to affect our ability to get you out.
It better not.
We're expecting more occupants soon.
More occupants?
We've just gotten word that the High Inquisitor is returning. He's returning in force, and that never means anything good. It usually means, I've been here long enough to know that it means that we are expecting a lot more occupants.
Okay.
And he struggles with that word occupants because he's clearly trying to not say prisoners, scum. He's trying not to diminish, anybody in your eyes. Based on the experience that you've had with him in setting this up, he has a fair bit of respect for your desire to not be referred to as a Scoblin scum or any of that, right? And you've actually been kind of imposing to him too. So now, we can set this up anytime, but I need about 3 hours for when you want to make this happen. I need 2 things from you. I need to know who you're going to visit and in what order, and when you want to leave.
As we discussed, I want to see Samandra, and I need to see her first. I want to see Ulf. I'd like to see the man I told you about, goes by the name Muscles. I'd like to see all three of them. As soon as it can be arranged. Ideally, privacy with each of them.
Muscles is currently in he's with our physicers right now.
How's he doing?
He's dying.
That's problematic, and yet it simplifies things. I'd still like to see him if that's possible.
Here's what we're going to do. I can bring Samandra to the Physicers ward, and you can see the 2 of them together. Ulf is in an even darker place than this.
Really?
If you can imagine that.
I can't. I really can't.
So I would suggest that we visit Samandra and Muscles first. There's actually our plan to escape actually hinges on the sewers near where Ulf is held.
That's good. Sewers are sounding pretty good right now.
You haven't smelled them. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Okay, and he all right. Give me 4 hours.
I'm not going anywhere.
The guards who were coming to you are trusted, but
Okay.
they may put a bag over your head.
Oh. Okay. We're paying you. We're paying you really well. Remember that.
You're supposed to be beaten or bloody or dead when you're going to see the visitors. The visitors.
Then
The bag will indicate that you are pretty badly beaten.
if it's easier, send some guys you don't trust. Can make this look very real.
4 hours.
4 hours.
We're going to cut. Okay, so we're going to do one last thing, and then we're going to go into the actual score, which is the escape. We're going to cut to the meeting between Ari and Sling and the sponsors of Coachella. It is happening in Silkshore. And the circumstances are that it's happening at a brothel very close to one of the brothels that you happen to know pretty well, Ari, because it's one of OC's brothels where you worked. But it's not happening at her brothel, and it is a meeting in a third-story room that appears to be quite a large lounge. But things begin to kind of set it off almost immediately as there's something wrong here. The brothel is not open and active, and no matter the private meeting that typically happens in places like this, having been at a couple of these types of events, the brothel is closed. Second, upon approach, you and Sling are a fair bit off, and you realize that there are a fair bit of private soldiers surrounding the place, trying to look as nondescript as possible, but they are clearly mercenaries who are watching the crowd. As you see certain business, very successful business owners and noble families, representatives for the noble families start to go in, it's clear that they're all being watched as they enter.
Is it okay to disguise ourselves before we enter?
You are more than welcome to.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm also just realizing now I haven't been logged into the Roll20 all of this time.
Oops. Oh, I'm sorry.
Fortune roll now.
What would you like to disguise yourself as?
Don't say love.
We're gonna disguise ourselves as love.
As love.
So
Do we get extra points for love?
No, Mr. and Mrs. Cupid.
It's closed. Don't disguise yourself as love.
No, I think for the most part, we probably want to kind of bland ourselves out a bit more.
Okay.
Try and give ourselves more of a stereotypical look of somebody who is looking to sponsor this kind of event. Maybe we need to hippie ourselves out more.
Yeah.
Maybe the dreadlocks need to come out and the homebrewed coffee.
Oh, yeah,
or
the
something.
really oversized, hoodies.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very baggy
I've got a
cardies.
feather in my hair.
Birkenstocks drowned in patchouli. Yeah.
Exactly. I've got like a daisy chain.
One of those weird neck scarves that don't attach to anything. Don't make any
They
sense.
just keep going around in an infinity.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you guys enter the building, any roll that you make, you will get an additional die if it's a social situation because of the
We look the
disguises.
part.
Right. So as you approach the building, you get even more and more concerned because with the amount of mercenaries and private soldiers that you see kind of loitering about, you realize that as you approach the door, it appears to be reinforced a little bit. Like there are, I'm not sure what they're called, but it's when you brace a door, there are additional hooks or you know, essentially spaces that attach to the wall, and there are these, you know, essentially metal braces that you then slide the pieces of wood to help brace it. But as you're approaching, you see that those are on the outside of the doors.
It's an odd step up in security. Before it used to just be a quick pat down, and now they have reinforced doors.
So that's the thing. They don't actually check you as you come in. They don't even ask you for an invitation. And so as you enter, the front room area is a little bit active with some servers and some food. But again, the brothel is not in its normal set of activity. It is clearly just serving whoever is walking in the door for this particular event. And eventually somebody approaches you about your invitation. But when they look at it, their invitation for this meeting, they look at it and they just kind of shake their head and, okay, that's great, and mark you off. And the event is upstairs, the 3rd floor. Grab you know, something to nourish yourself, or, you know, something to drink beforehand. Around the room, again, more soldiers. Very obvious this time. Positioned at all of the exits and some of the windows.
I'd like to take a quick mental note of all of the windows that aren't manned, just for my own sanity. So I know where they are.
Okay.
Ari would probably want to do something not too dissimilar, maybe check all the doors that are manned.
Okay. So every exit is manned in some way, shape, or form and being watched. The majority of the windows are being covered in some way, but there are a couple of gaps, and it's the ones that, based on the layout of the room, that you assume is based on the fact that it would be the most difficult to open and get out of, right? So they're not like, you know, broad windows kind of a thing. They're more small affairs and much harder to kind of open, and they look like they've got levers, you know, closing them and locking them in place, kind of a thing. So they look like they're a little bit more difficult to open. As you make your way up the grand stairway to the 2nd floor, you know that this is where more of the private rooms are for group entertaining of different kinds. Drinks, food, circumstance of just, you know, rooms for about the size of 10. And there are some doors open, and there appears to be some business-like people kind of shuffling papers inside. But those doors are well guarded as well, but the other doors are not. However, it appears that those doors that are not guarded, you know, closed, and they look like they're locked in some way, shape, or form. It's obvious that there's, because somebody is walking around and kind of checking each of those doors, and they've got a ring of keys that they're doing. All right, you do not recognize this particular person as anybody who has ever worked at this brothel before.
Okay.
Carrying your way around to the next staircase, you walk up to the 3rd floor and into the larger room. Around the room is a number of minor, smaller noble family representatives, a couple of noble family members. None of the 6 indicated in the courier message information that came to Sky are there. So that's essentially the Council of 6. And some other folks are kind of sprinkled in: business owners, shop owners, representatives for the Hive from Night Market, representatives from some of the other, criminal factions, and their more public face kind of a thing. And there appears to be a little bit of a hubbub as to what's going on, but nobody knows. And so, as the time kind of passes a little bit, you realize that there are no guards in this particular room, but there are also no easy exits. Right? There is a grand window that leads onto a balcony, and the balcony is manned with guards on the outside, but that door is locked. Otherwise, the room is very bare of that, and there just appears to be a bunch of these people kind of loitering. And so there's a bell that rings, and you realize that the meeting is being called to order. Doors begin to close behind an individual who just kind of shuts them and says, "Please, I must apologize. The meeting will start in 5 minutes. There's a couple of final bits that are being suggested to be changed. Can you just give us a minute? I just wanted to let everybody know we will be right back. The refreshments will continue." As a door opens to the side, and there are a couple more servers just kind of serving drinks and walking the room. But it's weird in there. The tone is, and the conversation appears that nobody knows what's actually going on. Everybody is curious about it. This was an unscheduled last-minute affair. Why as business folk? There are all these why questions. And then the bell rings again. And the attendant that was out, that came in and announced that, steps back inside, says, "The meeting will be just beginning in just a second. Please let me introduce Chaos." And in steps the man in white in a beautiful outfit, flanked by an older woman, dressed in that flowing robe thing that she was wearing, that as Mother May. And Chaos steps into the room and says, "I appreciate all of you arriving at the last minute. We will be staying here for quite a while." As you hear the locks engage behind him as the door closes. "I hope you all are comfortable." And we're going to cut to Jinx.
No! Oh no! No! Oh no!
Johnny, you are going to get stabbed.
Oh no!
Well, it's lucky that Alex is no longer in the San Francisco area. That means she cannot come down and find me. So.
I can make my way back down.
We will
It's not that far.
Sling
You're that
immediately draws her
expensive.
gun.
Well, I'm in a bit of a pickle, aren't I, ladies and gentlemen?
Did you take your weapon into that room, Sling?
I would have taken my rifle everywhere.
Okay, I just want to make
Johnny.
sure. All right. All right.
Greg, you missed a lot.
Now,
I need to
it is time to roll the engagement roll for the score. That is Jinx in jail and the escape. What's up? What were you going to say, Joff?
Can I use a crit on that?
So remember way back in season 1 where we talked about fortune rolls and engagement rolls?
Yeah, that's
crit.
right. Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that are factoring into this because you guys did do a lot of setup. So you're gonna get a pretty good pool to start off with, and I'll outline what all that means. Prior to that, this is typically when we would talk about this as a loadout, and we would talk about the type of job it is and everything else. But because this is an escape, I think it makes most sense that we call it a transport, or even a, let's see, what was the other one I was looking at? Or even a stealth. So whichever makes more sense to you, because there's the route and the means, there's the detail for transport. And for stealth, it's the point of infiltration, but this is actually the point of exfiltration, right? You're leaving the situation.
Yeah.
So one is trespass unseen. The other is taking people or goods out of someplace. Whatever makes more sense to you. The only way that this is going to have an effect is it's based on how we build the dice pool, because I've got a couple of things based on which one you want to choose to do, stealth or transport.
Our crew, we're smugglers, right? Does that give?
That is correct. Sky or Speedy, does the crew sheet have anything specific about any benefits? Did you guys take any upgrades that specifically apply to one or the other? Well, no, not to Iron Hook, but to stealth or transport, essentially, because this is either one is going to, I think, apply to your XP allotment. But I also think that I think you guys have a skill or benefit that applies to either transport or something like that.
We actually don't.
Okay. All right. Oh wow, you're getting raided, buddy.
Oh shit. It's alright. Okay.
How drunk are you, Speedy?
Not that drunk.
So very, yeah.
Drink.
Just say Onkyard Park for me, please.
Onkyard Park.
Okay, or whatever it was that.
CYXW? I don't know the rest of it.
All right. So let's start with the engagement roll. Based on what Joff decides finally as what is the way we're going to do this? Stealth or transport?
Transport.
Okay. All right. So 1 die for sure luck.
Yeah.
1 die for
waiting for that.
all of the setup that went into the fact that this was about escaping with people, right?
Yeah.
1 die for
love.
1 die for the quality of the asset that you acquired, essentially who turned into a cohort. So 1 die specifically for that, because it was such a significant one. And then 1 die because you're rescuing somebody that you absolutely care about. Which is love. Get it right. He loves her.
I'm a big fan of.
We should
big
just have
fan of
more love, and I think we should get an.
You get love all the time. This time I'm not titling it love. I'm titling it something else. We can't hear you.
What about
Alex.
1 die for friendship?
We can't hear you, Alex.
I say we are a very loving group. We are not afraid to admit
What
our
about-
feelings for
You
each
are
other.
What
very-
about?
Yes.
Hang on, this one actually works. What about
Okay.
an extra dice for some Irish luck?
Oh, some good old Irish.
Good old Irish luck, you know.
All right, I'll give you that one because I'm good. It's
We have
because
the luck of our Irish on our side.
Madame
What is
Gandalf is going to
Samandra
have to
being
play some
around?
Samandra in here.
Oh,
Okay, so that's
how about-
5, guys.
How about a dice for Jinx fucking Godofo?
yeah. I'm in for that. Jinx,
Okay.
motherfucking god.
I mean, he's a legend.
He is a legend.
And they're
He's
scoffing.
a
Because-
legend to the Irish nation.
All right. So this is all about, this is what you're going to get. You've got 6 going on here, guys. 1 for luck, 1 for all the prep, 1 for the sheer sheer ballsiness of the situation, or was it the asset? No, 1 for the asset, 1 for your love for Samandra,
Yep.
1 for Jinx Godofur,
1 for sheer ballsiness. I think we should have that as well.
and then there was 1 for
Right.
Irish
7.
luck, because I'm going to give you guys that one because Alex is going to play Samandra. Now, I am going to take away 1 immediately for the sheer brutality of Iron Hook. All right, because this place is incredibly oppressive. You don't know what's going to happen. I'm also going to suggest 2 others, and you can tell me whether they actually apply or not. 1 is you don't know what's in the sewers, or the circumstances of going into the sewers. You're trusting the asset here, so there's a bit of uncertainty in what you actually are going to find down there, or how you're actually going to get out. That's 1 potential. The other is you're not really sure that everybody is going to want to go with you, because there is something hanging on out there. There is a devil's bargain hanging on out there specifically surrounding Jinx and Samandra. There is also some level of uncertainty about what's going on with Ulf.
Mhm.
And so it's, you don't know what you're going to be facing in the sewers or what's going to be happening in the sewers, and you don't know if these people are going to want to actually go with you. So you tell me which of those two makes sense, if both of them make sense, if neither of them makes sense.
Can I invalidate the sewers one by doing a flashback where either myself or I have basically the sewers investigated? Maybe that conversation with my asset earlier becomes funny if, actually Jinx has been in the sewers.
I would like to do a callback that goes along with that, right back to the 13-page document which details the legend of Jinx Gotifer, which I was rereading earlier, and it came to my attention that towards the end of the document, the legend himself, Mr. Jinx Gotifer, did actually spend a great deal of time in the sewers, so much so that we're almost at home for some time. Therefore, the sewers are his favored terrain, as it were.
Okay. So let's remove that one. Let's remove that one as a possibility. That's not going to affect you. That makes complete sense. Now there's just the one on the table. So right now you guys are at 5. The one on the table is the uncertainty about whether Samandra or Ulf are actually going to want to go with you.
I think that one's valid.
Okay.
Not to give dice up, but I think that's valid. You know, Samandra, oh boy, right there, that's going to be a problem. And with Ulf as well. No idea. Not a clue.
Okay. So the level of uncertainty, whether Samandra or Ulf are being there, that's getting removed. So the dice pool is 4. With that dice pool, I'm going to go ahead and have Joff roll it.
I want to take stress. And I also want to hear a devil's bargain.
Oh, you really want to add? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Let me double check the rules to make sure that that's possible, because I don't think we've ever done that with rules before. I just want to double check, but I am more than happy to give you a devil's bargain, and I am more than happy for you to take stress here.
Well,
You know me, Johnny. I love devil's bargains.
Now, hang on. We were at 5, and you're talking about pushing yourself and a devil's bargain. Isn't there a maximum of 6 that you can add?
Well, there is a maximum of 6, but we're actually at 4. So I took one away for the sheer oppressive nature of Ironhook. It is a terrible, horrible place, right? So there's 5 right now. Or there was 5.
Right,
and then there was the removal of the 1 because of the uncertainty
and
of the
he said that the
relationship
dice was valid, yes, because you're
We can't use crits for this, can we?
We cannot use crits for the engagement roll.
Right.
And that was specifically because it puts you guys at one point. It puts you guys in such a certain situation that it made it incredibly difficult for me to have any room to introduce some really crazy stuff. All right. I do not see any rules specifically denying you. I mean, it's not explicitly saying you can, and it's not explicitly saying that you can't have pushing yourself or
devil's bargain.
Taking a devil's bargain. I think in this particular case, because it's not a skill roll, I'm not sure pushing yourself makes sense.
Okay.
But I will definitely give you a devil's bargain if you want it.
Let's hear the devil's bargain.
Ooh.
Someone gets shot.
Ooh. Samandra.
Jinx.
All right. So I'm going to put one on the table. If anybody else has anyone, please speak up. The ghost of somebody from your past in the Unity War will haunt you.
Oh, I wonder who.
That's not what I'm suggesting. I'm actually suggesting something different. But that's an opportunity too.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I don't have any other suggestions. I like that one.
No, that's good. Yeah, go. Yes.
So take that additional die. Now
puts me
go
back
and
to-
now roll the pool of 5. It's on your character sheet. It's a fortune roll. Just go ahead and put 5 dice in there. Type really some awesome message to go along with it, and let's go.
Bottom right corner.
Yeah, bottom right corner. Thank you.
For love. Nice. 6.
Holy crap. That is a great roll. A little surprising given how many... Yeah. All right. Great. No problem. For love. We open on the escape. You see the guard that your asset suggested that you take with you, who apparently knows the sewers right under Ironhook very well because it's part of his job to chase escaped prisoners.
Okay.
He has told you that you're going to need to compensate him at some point with coin for his work, but he will see you safely out. And the agreement made is 1 coin. So it's the kind of thing that can be hand waved at some point.
Okay.
The grate is being opened, and as you hear the metal against stone kind of scraping along as you're opening, the smell coming from the sewers is even worse than anything that you've smelled from Ironhook.
Oh, it's like Mum's biscuits.
And it's an incredibly dark set of circumstances, or it's an incredibly dark place, except for the torches that this particular person, this particular asset, or this particular guard that's part of your asset, and the others of your party are holding. It's still very dark down here, and it is incredibly cold. It is a bone-chilling cold so bad that you're not sure how you're going to shake this cold off when you finally find warmth by a fire with a cask of ale, however you choose to warm yourself. And as you look back, you see Samandra standing there behind you, uncomfortable and unhappy, but following you. And we're going to flash back to the hood being pulled off of your head as you're in the Physicker's ward. It's well lit, very dirty, but it's well lit. And there are 3 individuals occupying 3 cots off to the side. And as you look at them, the first 2 look sort of, just like any other prisoner who's been badly beaten and are, dealing with mending bones. So bad that they can't go back to their cells yet. And the third, you do recognize as the emaciating Physicker of muscles. And he is unconscious.
I would walk over to him and I would squeeze his shoulder. I'm sorry, brother.
He doesn't stir as a Physicker walks up behind you and says, "They told me you were coming. There's not much I can do for him. Do you know him?"
In passing. How long does he have?
Hours. Days. He's been like this for 2 weeks. He won't eat. He was being nursed to health, but before he was brought back. And then he lost hope.
At any point, did he mention next of kin?
No, he's a simple soul. And in passing, I imagine his time beyond will be simple too. The wardens are always here when we have somebody in this state. We don't want troublesome spirits roaming.
Right.
He will be cared for, and it will be quick.
And one last glance for him, and then Jinx is then done.
And it is at that moment that Samander walks in the door with another guard. Now, Alex, I didn't give you any type of prep for this, but I'm going to put you right in this situation. You know everything that's gone on previous to that circumstance. Play it out. This is Samander seeing him for the first time after the events of the Lightning Tower, and her subsequently getting dragged to not only to White Crown and being branded a criminal, and then taken to Iron Hook.
Okay. I'll do my best.
Awesome.
Huh. Of course. Of course it'd be you.
Of course it would be me. Are you okay?
How do you fucking think I am?
I'm sorry.
How many times do you think you can expect me to just listen to those words and believe them? Just how many times? Jinx, Wrath, Grin, what are you now? Who are you now?
I go by Twilight. No. And he smiles. Tries to. Sam. I thought they would pardon you. I thought you would be out of here. I never thought they would keep you.
You seem to assume many things, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I've made a lot of mistakes. Sam, I will make more mistakes. I came here for you. I'm getting you out. We're leaving shortly.
That's what you said last time. The last time that you did everything. You promised me that we'd get out of this. You promised me you wouldn't do anything fucking stupid. You promised.
Do you notice something, Sam? And I put my hands out. I'm sober. And that's not because they won't let me drink here. If they'd taken the bottle away on my way in, you think this would be... I'm sober, Sam. I'm sober for the first time in 30 goddamn years. I came here to get you out. If after we leave, you never want to see me again, you'll never see me again. But I came to get you out. Sam, I love you.
It's too late.
I know. But that doesn't change anything.
Oh, that was the last time. I gave you one last chance.
I know. I blew it. I'm not fighting you on this. You're better off without me, but that doesn't change how I feel.
They were branding me a criminal.
I am a criminal.
Branding me one, though.
Oh.
I've staked my whole life on my reputation. You know how hard I've worked for all of that.
Then why didn't you roll on me?
Because I decided to give you that one last fucking chance. That maybe you might actually come through with what you promised for once. Once again, I'm the fool. Right? Just playing the cards and always getting the fool.
I have a means out. You can go. If you want me to stay, I'll stay. Either way, you get to leave today. It's up to you whether I go with you.
Moment of exposition.
Jinx sings a song. I'd love to say it was easy coming here. And you know what? Actually, it was. I didn't have a choice. I'm sorry. I did not mean for this to happen. I didn't mean for a lot to happen. I didn't mean to... didn't mean to be the person I became. Jinx, Wrath, Grin, Sesereth. I've lost sight of who I was. It's been so long, Sam. It's been so long since the orphanage. It's been so long since the goddamn war. I never stopped fighting.
No, you never did.
There's another fight to come. I'm not done. I will see my people free. You're Imperial. I'm Scarf. I know how this works. It doesn't change how I feel. Those are just the facts.
You must think I'm crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Given that you've just given me one last chance, yeah, I do think you're crazy.
I've protected you for so long.
Yeah. I'm amazed you haven't taken a swing.
Oh, trust me, there's been many tempting moments. I just seem to have a little bit more restraint than you do.
Huh.
But I feel like people do crazy things when they're in love.
Yeah, they do. So what's it gonna be? You want to leave? Do you want me to stay? What do you want, Sam? You don't want to stay here. I know you don't want to stay here. I have a way out. I'm a good smuggler. I am a good smuggler.
Then I'm coming with you. But when we get out of here, and I'm saying when because I'm relying on you.
Yeah.
When we get out of here, we're going to need some time.
I understand. You take all the time you want. And if after taking time, you're done with me, then you're done with me. I'll understand. I will.
Then we have a deal.
We have a deal. It's so civil. Mm.
Okay, so is that scene?
Yes.
Yes.
The physiker watches this exchange.
Oh yeah.
No, the physiker watches this exchange, realizes that his presence is stepped into. His presence is in a place where he shouldn't be. Takes the guard that escorted her in and escorts him out the door. The door is still open. You are both still prisoners. But he's giving you the moment as this happens. When the exchange is done... What? Just nope.
Don't ruin the moment. It's beautiful.
Yeah, seriously.
And cute.
All right. So when he realizes that it's done, the guard steps back in, looks at both of you and says, I've been paid well for this. You were to come with me. I will stick you in a room, and you will be picked up from there. And as you both are walking out the door, we're going to cut back to the circumstance of jumping into the sewer. Once down into the sewer, it is even darker, and it is even smellier, and it is the most disgusting thing that you've ever had to deal with in walking through a sludge, as the water is flowing, but flowing slower than you would like. The sewer itself is actually essentially a circled shape, a rounded shape, allowing for the ease of flow. And you begin to trudge for what seems like forever, though is only maybe 10 or 15 minutes at the most, in a straight path. A junction is reached, and you hear running water off into the distance. You turn to your left, position yourself in such a way, Jinx, as Samandra follows the guy past you. And looking past Samandra as she turns the corner, you see Ulf. And we're going to cut and flashback to Ulf. The guard picks you up from this room. And at first, you're a little uncertain because he's not dressed as a normal guard. He's not dressed as a normal prison guard in the area. He appears to be wearing more of kind of a rugged outfit that appears to smell in a very particular way. It's a sickly sweet smell. And you realize at first that he's wearing what appears to be some sort of heavier gear, almost like as if he was a dock worker. His boots are much larger. They're much taller, right? They fold like a shoreman's boots. He's wearing not a longshoreman's coat, but a coat that's got more gear on it. And he's carrying a rope, and he's got a bundle of torches in the other hand. And he looks at you all, or he looks at the two of you. Are we picking anybody else up before we head down?
No.
All right. I have to take you to Ulf. You only have a short window, maybe 10 or 15 minutes at most.
That's plenty.
All right. He says, we're going to stop at a storeroom first, and we're going to get you geared up. And he walks you down to a storeroom a couple levels lower. And as you descend lower and lower, it gets colder and colder. And at the storeroom, you find gear that is very similar to him. Samandra recognizes some of this as elements of military gear that is used in really just wet or dirty circumstances. And there's the shore boots and the coat and the trousers and everything else. But you realize that it will help protect you from whatever you're going to be dealing with in the sewers in respect to the elements. And as you put it on, you feel a little warmer even in this cold because your body heat is actually being reflected back on you and contained. Down a couple more levels, it is even colder. Chilled to the bone. Your faces are just, they feel like ice if you were to touch them. As he says, okay, we're here. And there's a series of 4 doors on one side as a pathway that leads to a stairway down. And you go to the second to the last door, and he opens it up. And you hear a voice from inside as the door's open. Who would come visit me now? Who's out there? As the door swings open.
Jinx Godotha.
Who? That's a legend.
A legend has come to see you, Ulf.
Bah, come on. The light hurts.
Can I go in?
Inside, huddled in a corner, is quite a muscular man who is starting to see a little bit of his strength diminish from him. As far as you know, Ulf has been here for at least a month.
Oh my gosh.
That's how long you know him to be in prison based on all the information that you had previously.
Okay.
Very close to the time that the lightning tower came down.
Okay.
But he looks like he is still surviving. And you see that there is a bowl of something in the corner that's not even porridge, and that there is a flask of something else. And you realize that it's a flask of alcohol of some kind, and that the only way he can survive is to consume occasionally in order to fight off the cold, to keep, as a consolation for surviving. Cheeks go for that's, and you realize he's drunk.
Oh boy, this will be fun.
Cheeks go for that's. Who are you to impersonate that legend?
And I start rolling up my sleeve. And I expose the scarred tattoo, the brand, the contract brand. Do you know what this is?
He looks up. I do know what that is. You've got a scar from where we had one of these, and he rolls up his arm. And there's one on his. But it is a contract still.
Oh.
It is not removed. It is not branded. It is not burned off. You still see the Imperial seal on his arm. I don't know how I burned it off, but hate this thing.
I'll tell you about it someday. My name is Jinx Godeffer, Ulf, and I'm here to rescue you.
That light. And as you're kind of holding the torch, he looks at you and he kind of does like this. You begin to recognize him as somebody who served under you in the Unity War. Somebody who was lost in one of the skirmishes before you came into the service of the Imperial Army. At that time, he would have been a younger man, probably no more than 20. And you realize that he was just a foot soldier at that point, one of the people under your command, and that he was legitimately lost in a skirmish. There was a fight. You were surprised by the Imperial Army, and he was lost.
Oh, that sucks because Jinx has a whole thing about leaving people behind.
To counter that to some degree, you were told that he was dead. You believed that he was dead, and that is why you left him.
Okay.
But you recognize him as that young man, only older, dirtier, more life experience, beaten down, and still fighting. What do you want, Godeffer?
Snap out of it, man. I don't care how long you've been down here. Snap out of it. You're better than this. You're better than them. What happened to your spirit?
Who's that lady you have with you?
None of your concern. You're leaving today. You're leaving now. When we're outside, we're going to have a very long conversation. But you are going to swear fealty to me right now.
What's the point?
The point is I save your life. Your miserable, stinking life. You don't remember me, do you? I didn't go by Jinx Godeffer back then. Let's try Sesereth Grines.
And when you say that,
Yeah,
it catches a reaction. It's a pause.
it's me, son.
And for the first time, he kind of sits up. And he's been sitting down for so long. For a moment, he's struggling, and he reaches back along the wall, and there are the stone elements of the wall with little grooves in it so that he's able to kind of raise himself. A part of the foundation he's grabbing on, and he slowly gets up. And he stands up for the first time, and he's kind of wobbling, and he leans back. You left me.
You were dead.
Do I look dead?
Good timing there from my daughter.
Yeah!
Yeah! Yeah!
I'm sorry, that was just perfect. That was awesome.
I didn't know. I wouldn't have. If I had known, you know me. You remember me. You know that I wouldn't. I couldn't. How many people did we go back for? You know I wouldn't. It's me, Ulf. We need to leave. They're killing you. But I'm not going to let them. What's the point? The fight is the point. The war. We're not done.
It's a lie.
Remember our dreams of a free Scotland? We can do it.
It's a lie.
Why did you come?
The first time you see his anger in his face, and he is just, you're starting to see him work through the drunkenness, and you're seeing the seriousness of its nature. It's all a lie.
Why did you come to Doskville? Do you remember?
False hopes and illusions.
You came to fight for freedom, for a free Scotland. And you were doing great. Your tactics were unconventional. But the heart was there, and I'll punch him in the chest lightly. You have heart.
And as you punch him lightly in the chest, he grabs you by the wrist, and for the first time you see the soldier. And he says, I told you, it's all a lie. And he throws your arm away.
I'll try to push him.
He lets you this time, and you push him back against the wall.
Fight.
Why?
Take that swing.
You tell me why I should fight.
Because if you don't, I'm going to fight you anyway. And if I have to carry you out of here, I will. They've done this to you, Ulf. They've trodden you into the ground. And I'll kick his bowl of... Jinx kicks his bowl of food, whatever the hell that is. Kicks over the bottle of alcohol. They are treating you like
fight for this, what are you fighting for in the first place?
Voice. And for the first time, it goes from contained anger to uncontained anger. And he starts to lurch forward, and he's still sort of off, but he's trying to push back. I know that voice. That's her.
Yes, it is.
And what's the problem with that?
This, and he shows you the brand.
Oh. And now Jinx is looking at Sam. And looking away. They found you, Ulf, and they branded you. They put you in a contract.
Yes.
Did they make you fight your countrymen?
Yes.
We're going to get that contract removed.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. You can be free.
Damn it! I've been telling you, it does not matter. The war was a lie.
The war was a lie. Your family, your friends, your parents, your siblings, We are subjugated.
You don't know, do you? He doesn't know, and he looks back at Samandra. He doesn't know.
What is the big secret here, guys? What?
Maybe even she doesn't know. Wow, well. Jinx Godefur. Hero. I'm going to tell you something, Mr. Godefur. Captain.
Don't call me that.
It doesn't matter. We fought in a war. We were told we were saving our family and our friends. The truth is, that we were fighting against the inevitable. Something that had to happen. So I've been over here for a fair bit of time, Duskfall. I've seen you around. I have. I've seen all the refugees, and I thought I was doing right. And he shakes his head, and he reaches down, and for the first time, his movement is controlled. He's drunk, but he's still able to grab for his bottle. He uncorks it, and he downs it.
No, I stop him. No, I stop him. I grab his wrist.
You will not. And for the first time, he is threatening you.
You can't hide in the bottle.
This isn't hiding.
Oh, it is. It is very much hiding.
This is dying quicker.
You want to die quicker? You come with me, you get out there, you fight the Imperials. Die by their hands, don't die by your own.
And he lets out this guttural scream. The Imperials. We had to fight them. We were told to fight them. But I'm going to tell you a little secret. I thought I was doing right. I thought I was disrupting things. But I'm sorry to tell you, Mr. Godefur, Captain. We needed to lose. Something worse is coming. Scotlanders. We were told to fight. We were prompted by it. Some exchange. We were promised things. If we were to fight, We were told that our independence mattered. It made a difference. But I'm here to tell you, and then I'm going to ask you to let me die. We were told to fight the wrong battle.
So fight for the right one, while you still can.
The Imperials are not the Skullvinder's enemy, though they
Who
would
is?
have us believe it.
Who is?
I don't know much. I just found a correspondence.
What? What do you mean?
There's a little piece of history that they don't tell us. Peace was assured. The Imperials, their diplomats, promised us sovereignty as long as we helped. I've seen the documents. I was in White Crown. And that's how they caught me. Because I couldn't believe what I read.
Do you have any way of... Do you have any proof?
You think that I would be in here if I had any proof?
That's a fair point. Well, no offense, Ulf. You're not looking great these days, and I want to hear more about this, but I don't think this is the best place for this conversation. If you want to rot, if you want to die, do it on the outside. But let's do it on the outside. Come with us, Ulf. They're killing you. This isn't you. Come with us.
Give me a reason to live. Everything I've known in my life is a lie.
Would you like to find the truth?
I know the truth.
Would you like to convince others of the truth? Start with me. I'm trying to lead a revolution here. If you're telling me there's a different enemy threat, then let's redirect this. Let's do something with this. There's momentum. We have a chance now to make change. If you're telling me that we've all been lied to, if I can help you find proof, I will. But if you die here, this proof dies. I go out there, I'm going to kick off the second War of Independence, and you're telling me that we're fighting the wrong side? I'm sick of innocents dying. I'm sick of the blood on my hands. I'm sick of everything. So I hear you. I understand that you want to give up. I understand that you just want to lie down and waste away. But you're not going to do it here, Ulf.
Is that an order, Captain?
Yeah, it's an order. Get out the door. Get out the door.
With that, he perks up. Yes, sir. And he storms out the door.
And the moment he's around the corner, hands on knees.
Samantha kind of grins to herself. Just say the good old days.
But also, yeah, looking at Samandra like, what?
So we're gonna cut as he's walking around the corner, looking at Samandra, giving her a look that just is so much death. It's just he just has so much hatred behind it. But his sense of discipline is outweighed, and so it's stoic anger as he looks at you and storms around the corner.
Anger's good. I can use anger.
And we'll cut to getting to essentially the mouth of the sewers as it leads out to the canal. And there is a boat waiting for you there. As the guard says, "All right, this is you. Get out of here. Take these two with you, and don't make me come after you." The coin, and he hands you a note. "Send it to this woman."
I take the note, but I also extend my hand.
"I don't shake with criminals." And he turns and walks away.
I like him. And we leave.
And so we're going to cut. And typically this is right where we would end the score, except we're going to have you take them back where? Because there's a little bit of a post circumstance that I want to get to here.
Well, I was going to say Kellen's, but we fled Kellen's to protect it. Maybe, what was my old haunt in Night Market? That might be a good place to put up with.
Okay. All right. So we'll cut to that moment where you are sitting at a table.
Ooh, the Devil's Tooth.
But there are three of you are sitting at a table. Drinks are being served. Would you bring anybody to meet them at this particular point? Would you call in Sky? Would you bring in Hocus? Would you bring in so Ari and Sling are kind of occupied at this moment.
I would send a courier. I definitely want Sky, and it would probably say, just, "Sky, you're needed at the Devil's Tooth. Bring the gang. Bring whoever you can."
We could take probably a break from our...
From your what?
Yeah, they won't mind us popping out.
Just stepping out the door?
You're just like, "Sorry, Chaos, lovely to see you again. There's something I have to tend to just real quick. Good to see. I mean, it's been a while. You look great. You look great.
You look fantastic.
You look fantastic. The white suit, it's working.
Excuse me, Mr. Chaos, there's a message. Ladies over there, apparently they're needed immediately in the Devil's Tooth. You know anything about devils, Mr. Chaos?
Do you know anything about these teeth? Leviathan teeth? Bang, down.
Good night, Chaos.
That's how we end the
Sleep
episode.
well.
Yeah. We just
Probably kill you tomorrow.
Lovely to see you. We'll pick this up tomorrow, where I will be killing you, but we'll deal with that then. Have a lovely meeting.
That's tomorrow's problems.
Yeah. That's a problem for future you. Don't even worry. You look great. Bye. She just dives sideways out the window.
When I thought you were going to have me do the voice of Ulf, I was waiting for that first moment so that as soon as Jinx walked in, I could say, "Mellow greetings, Jinx Godiver," because Joff made the Demolition Man thing about biscuits and gravies from the sewer.
Sorry.
You just say "mellow greetings."
I messed that up. I know. I'm sorry. Okay, so Sky
we're
receives a
all
message.
there.
Well, no. So Sting and Ari are off.
Damn it.
Ulf
So close.
is currently sulking and drinking, while Samandra and I imagine Jinx are just kind of recovering at this point in that back room, smelling really horrible, as you would requested the opportunity to clean yourselves in some way. A message is sent off to Sky for him to arrive there, to come back. Do you bring Hocus?
The note also says, "Bring my stuff. Thanks."
Okay. Do you bring Hocus? Is Hocus recovered enough to be able to come along on this particular conversation?
We haven't done any downtime, so he could go, but it would be...
Oh, sure. But this is, I mean, at the end of this, there would be downtime. Right. You'll be able to do all that recovery and stuff. But so I would have just assumed that you would be recovered enough to be able to move.
Yeah, he's slow. He's a bit like Raceland. You know, he's
Yeah.
you know.
Sky would ask, Hocus, just got word. Jinx made it to the other side. Asking for a meeting.
Where are they?
Devil's Tooth at Old Hauntley Grins.
All right, let's go.
You sure?
What choice do we have?
All right. You say so. Come on.
Okay. So we're going to cut to you arriving in Night Market, coming very close to the Devil's Tooth, as a courier steps up, recognizing you, Hocus, and says, and you realize that it's somebody that you recognize, that you used to work with, but does not recognize you. He says, "Oh, you match the garb I was told to look for, and you look like the person. Okay, this is for you." And he hands a note to Sky. He hands an enveloped note.
What does it look like on the outside? Is there a seal?
It is a completely white piece of parchment. As you open it, it says, "Dearest Sky, I'm sorry that you haven't paid a visit yet. I have need of your services." And at the bottom is just the symbol that KS uses.
All right. It's fine.
And so until you walk inside then to the Devil's Tooth to find Grin, Samandra, and...
I'll show
Wolf.
it to Hocus too.
Okay.
I'll actually just give the letter to Hocus to hold on to. He's the letter guy.
Oh, that's cold. What a jerk.
Looks like
All right.
Caius is looking for us.
I'm not surprised.
Deal with them later.
So we're going to cut to you stepping inside the private room. You find the three of them sitting around this particular table, all looking incredibly horrible from the drink. Just kind of taking the bottle directly and just kind of pouring it, as his eyes are really not focused on anything. You're able to exchange a nod or pleasantry with Samandra as she's just trying to recover what's going, the situation. And Jinx is just there, just looking exhausted.
You said they have been cleaned up, right?
Well, they have a bowl to clean themselves, essentially a bowl with a basin with some warm water to start cleaning themselves. But I don't think that they've gotten the smell of the sewer off of them yet.
Okay, well,
The boots are gone. The boots are long gone.
The clothes are probably burned by this point,
Yeah.
but
Hocus is kind of sitting as close to the door as he can manage, and just kind of leaning on his staff and trying not to gag.
You look good, Hocus.
Fuck off.
Sky's ordered a round of drinks for everyone.
well, the drinks haven't stopped, and Ulf is continuing to drink as the drinks come.
There's actually probably a couple of full glasses as they keep coming. There's literally lager or ale set in front of Grin, set in front of Jinx, that he actually is not touching.
Mm-hmm.
He's holding true to himself.
You're muted, madam.
Ari will probably be drinking the ones that he's not touching. It's kind of like that moment when you have that friend who takes the cigarette out of your mouth and says, "Smoking is bad for you," and then they take the cigarette and start smoking it instead. That's what Ari is kind of doing with Grin right now.
You mean,
is the whole
Samandra?
Samandra.
Yeah.
Yeah, Samandra is probably kind of doing with Grin right now. Is like, drinking is bad for you. Drinks it instead.
Sky, we might have a situation.
Only one.
Well, this is a doozy, actually. So, the whole War of Independence between Scotland and the Imperials potentially was a sham, a ruse, a misdirection from a greater, larger conflict, war, threat. At least that's what Ulf here says. Don't mind him, he's absolutely wasted.
Alright. A conflict against what?
I have no idea. Ulf, are you still coherent enough to elaborate?
Huh? What? What?
This threat that you spoke of, is it another nation? What is it?
I don't...
Come on, man, you said you read a correspondence.
Huh? And he's about to take another drink, and he looks down towards the floor near Hocus. And Hocus, in his coughing fit, had dropped the letter.
Good, because I was just about to go, was that correspondence signed with this? So it all kind of works out.
The letter had fallen, and it's open. And he looks down, and he stops. He puts the bottle down, and he says, "Where did you get that?" And he starts to back away from the table.
What is going on?
Where did you get that?
Reaches down and picks it up. It was just delivered to us on the way here.
Caius. We met with him once.
I don't know that name.
It's a man in
But
white.
That was all over those correspondence I was talking about in White Crown. And that's where we're going to cut it. And then
So just to clarify, no one's opposed to him dying, right? Now, especially now, after all this, we're all on the same page.
Sky doesn't give a fuck.
Good. Hocus, buddy, pal.
Oh, buddies.
Oh,
If it
buddy,
makes
oh,
Sling
pal.
happy, do it.
So I have been working to that particular element of this story for the entire season.
Oh my
I want
god.
you guys to know. All right. That's another one of those big moments like last night with Steam. I think we should just do XP off screen and let's just fucking end it there. So
Holy moly.
Speedy, back over to you, man.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, guys, for... God, fuck you, Johnny. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. I
love you. No, god damn. This episode has been intense. There's been a ton of fucking bombshells, and I've taken like 8 shots, and
And the rest.
everything-
You are owed.
everything is great. Thank you guys. No, honestly, this episode has been fantastic. You guys have been amazing at all the role playing that you've done the entire episode. Literally all of you did like fantastic, like just amazing for every step of the way. I don't even have anything to say. Let's turn things over to Hocus to talk about him. Who are you? Why are you here? Who are you in real life? What do you do?
Oh man, real life. I was about to say I'm dying. But as are we all. So I'm Trent Sparks. I'm a professional voice actor person and audiobook narrator who, as was mentioned earlier in the chat, yes, I am narrating a Shadowrun. Well, I will be narrating a Shadowrun novel. First, I have to narrate the BattleTech novel. Then, after I'm done with that, I will narrate the Shadowrun. Can I buy them? What can I buy them? I don't know yet. But so yeah, that's kind of me, person. And again, like I said, I think I said last week, if you want to kill me a lot, just and you play Skyrim, go and download the Beyond Skyrim Bruma mod for Skyrim and install it. Head south over the mountain pass out of Helgen and go into County Bruma and kill me, because I wind up voicing a lot of bandits all over the place. You'll wind up killing me repeatedly. I mean, I voice things that are not bandits as well, but anyway, so yeah, lots of stuff over there. And doohickey. And I noticed that somebody followed me on Twitch. Please be advised, I don't stream, so not going to help you much. But you can usually find me here or playing over on Arvin Eleron's channel as well, playing D&D and whatever we do on the Our Vocalist thing and whatnot. Aside from that, follow me on Twitter at Trendane. And MadameGandalf.
Hello. Well, hello. My name is MadameGandalf. You may know me as MadameGandalf or otherwise as MadameGandalf. You can catch me everywhere, basically, as MadameGandalf. And I'm a full-time streamer here on Twitch. I'm currently on a big vacation break until November 18th. Then I shall be returning back to regular streams. Until then, you can find me hopefully here and there on, oh my goodness, the amount of red in my chat right now. I'm just MadameGandalf, 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 MadameGandalf. It's kind of amazing. Yeah, I play Ari. I thought this was an amazing episode. So much growth in so many different ways. And I think my name is MadameGandalf, just in case you missed it. And so I'm going to, as MadameGandalf, pass this MadameGandalf ball onto Owlbare.
Thanks for your ball, MadameGandalf. Yeah, my name is Joff, otherwise known as Owlbare, here on Twitch and over on Twitter. And tonight I played the legend that is Jinx Godiffer. Oh my god. That was a really intense session, guys, and I was in absolute awe of the RP that was going on from all of you, and was getting increasingly nervous about what I knew were going to be intense scenes with Samendra and Ulf. But it went all right, I think. It did all right. Did all right. Holy crap, I'm just so pleased and proud to be a part of this crew. Seriously. Where can you find me in the next couple of days? Tomorrow on my channel. I Lived in a Cake will be DMing our second game of Shady Acres, which is a D&D 5th edition one-shot about retired adventurers getting up to some hijinks and shenanigans on a small island. And then Saturday, there is an Extra Life charity stream, an 8-hour stream where we're playing 2 different D&D 5th edition one-shots, and we're giving away auctions and raffles and giveaways and lots of prizes for everyone that donates for the kids. And then after that, I'm going to relax. So it's going to be a busy couple. It's going to be a busy couple of days. I've got like 6 games in 4 days, and 5 of them are streamed, and 3 of them are streamed by me. And oh my gosh, that's too much D&D.
You are going to have one hell of a hangover, man.
I'm off work tomorrow, and I'm off work Monday. So I've padded it accordingly so that I can survive. And yeah, my gosh, I miss drinking. Louise, over to you.
Oh, hello. It's me, Louise and Larry, here in the flesh. Wow, amazing.
And the fur.
And fur. Yeah, I'm Louise, and my god, the things that happened today certainly happened. Yes, there's a lot that's going to keep me up at night for about the rest of my life. So
Fortunately, it's
thanks everyone for that. Yeah, thankfully it's already morning, so I don't need to worry about that at all. But yes, you can find me on the Twitters at No More No Less. That's more spelled MOORE. You can find me here on Twitch at AccidentalLegend. You can find me on the D&D channel on Saturdays, usually at 8 EST, but this Saturday I believe is starting at 11. And you can also find me on the charity stream with Joff, starting 6:30 my time. I don't know what time that is in other lands, but
11:30 Pacific.
Something like that. There you go. And on the Wonder Quest podcast, all these things you can find me on, and they're gonna be good because I'm in them, and you love me already. So, yes. That's me. Yes, that's me. I'm in love with this crew and this game. And back to you in the studio. I'm gonna help Larry. I feel bad.
Okay, yeah, take care of him. He deserves it. Johnny, tell us about you.
I am Johnny. I'm GM for 6 and 20, this crazy thing that we do on 3 different channels. This is probably been the heaviest RP I've done in the shows so far. You guys were amazing tonight. I can't even begin to describe the passion that you guys showed tonight. Louise, I just want to highlight Louise and Joff very specifically in this particular case, because you did things tonight that I didn't expect you were going to do with that in exchange with Hocus. That was amazing. That was,
Thank you.
I mean, it was like, whoa. I was feeding you some of that stuff, but other parts of it were just like, it was spot fucking on. I was just amazed. Joff, you stepped it up tonight in an RP kind of way. I was blown away, man. That was pretty freaking amazing.
It turns out when you channel your own baggage, it gets really easy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You should see one of my Star Wars characters. It's pretty ridiculous.
Okay.
But so Speedy, Alex, again, thank you. You guys are amazing. I don't mean to focus on those two, but you guys are also amazing tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. It was a great show. You can find me on Video Store Cowboy channel. I do occasionally other things besides 6 and 20. And yeah, that's about it. I'm done. I'm gonna go see Thor. I'm done.
Nah, don't see Thor. Go see 6 and 20. Over on the Video Store Cowboy channel and the Unmade Gaming channel. Like Johnny said, it is a game that's run on 3 channels. That's my channel, that's Video Store Cowboy, and that's Unmade Gaming. All of us in the same world, all DM'd by this crazy guy right here, who for some reason continues to put up with us. How many
It's
people
the
are there
law.
in 6 and 20 now?
It's the love.
So many at this point. It's ridiculous. But he puts up with all of us, and he's fantastic, so you should go support him. Yeah, so also those of you who want to support 6 and 20, we do have merchandise that's available. If you go to the link that's in chat right there, you can get a shirt with our 6 and 20 logo on it. It's pretty freaking rad, or like a mug for your PG Tips tea. It has been mentioned at least once per stream.
It has.
Legally binding, except it's not because they haven't chosen to sponsor us yet.
It's
Yeah.
actually been a while
Being
since
the
we mentioned
keyword.
PG. That's surprising.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ari wasn't here last week, so it was...
Yeah, it didn't feel right, talking about it without her.
It's true. I do bring the PG to the tips.
It's true. You bring, I mean, without you, it's just the tips.
It's just the tip. It's just the tip.
I need to go pick up some cigars.
We do also have a fan art giveaway going on right now, so for those of you who are artists or writers or whatever it may be, you guys can make some really cool drawings of your favorite characters or scenes or whatever it may be, or you can write up.
I want to see some writing.
Poetry.
Yeah.
You said earlier in chat.
Poetry counts. Yep.
Poetry would be cool.
I wanna
Fan
see
fiction
all
counts.
kinds
I
of
know there is
writing.
some lewd fan fiction going around. That's,
I
possibly
keep
the
hearing of these things, but I'm never seeing them, and it's upsetting me.
You know, it
very
is-
brief
it is
excerpts.
I
November.
do need to put back pen to paper.
You wrote one, which is
The
still my
beautiful
favorite thing.
Slade and Speedy. Not
Not Sky and
Bounderstone
Bouncing.
yeah, exactly. Not the characters.
I don't know if that counts.
The people.
It does.
Oh,
If you
it
make
does.
it
And
it counts.
And it is glorious.
It's the
and
winner in my eyes.
You will
Yep.
all love it. And if Slade hadn't deleted his VOD where I originally wrote it, I wouldn't have to rewrite it.
Rewrite it better
And
and
it
longer.
It is November, I think Johnny was about to say.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's
Oh.
along with Movember, it's also NaNoWriMo, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Perfect opportunity to write some 6 and 20 fanfic.
That's very true.
Yes.
It's perfect time for you to be writing up all that lewdness that you want, or not lewd fanfic, I guess. That's fine too. We'll accept anything, as well as
Erotic friend
as Mookie said in chat, fan art, fan fiction, fan poems, fan
Friend
songs.
fiction. That's a
Yeah,
thing.
friend fiction,
Cosplay,
exactly. Erotic
friend
friend
fiction.
fiction.
Erotic friend
Not erotic.
fiction.
Platonic friend
Platonic
fiction.
friend fiction.
Oh,
Write us some
oh,
platonic
I
friend
wrote
fiction.
was definitely erotic friend fiction.
Just not if
God.
Hocus is involved because he doesn't like being touched. And
Listen, you just haven't been touched in the right way yet.
you try it, mister, and find out what happens to you.
Wow, that just
I
got
want to see.
Oh,
Oh.
Lordy.
Jesus
Ooh.
Christ. But yeah, we have the fan art giveaway going on right now. We also have Goatchella next week. Next week is going to be the finale of season 2. We will have another season after this. We'll be taking a couple weeks as a break in between. But next week is going to be the finale of season 2. Goatchella is coming. You guys can have your names on the awesome poster that's on the screen right here. Your names or goat puns or whatever it is that you want on that. You can be headliners by donating, by subscribing, either on Twitch or on GameWisp. You can have all of that lovely stuff. So make sure to subscribe or donate before next week so you can get on that. And we will be producing t-shirts of that lineup to go out to people who donate enough money and stuff like that. And putting them up on an online store of some kind. It's going to be pretty
Maybe
goddamn awesome.
as well, potentially, if you do a really good drawing or a really good erotic friend fiction, you might also potentially maybe get on that.
You can get one of those.
poster.
You can get one of those.
I could put a word in. I know the guy
know-
that's
I know
putting
the
it
guy.
all together. I could put a word in for you.
I think that's a good point. If you make a submission to the 6 and 20 art competition, you too can be on that Goatshell lineup. We will be doing the fan art giveaway after the end of season 2. So after the finale, we will be deciding on who that winner is, who gets the copy of Blades in the Dark. So you guys should all try to get on that, no matter what your artistic skill may be.
Do it.
And as a reminder, also for the entire month, we are doing our streams in support of the Movember Foundation, in support of men's health. That means supporting things like prostate cancer. It means supporting a variety of diseases that affect primarily men. It includes suicide prevention, because men are 4 times more likely on average to commit suicide. It's the second leading cause of death among men under 40. It's a very serious issue that needs to be talked about, and that's part of why I've sprouted this glorious mustache, is to start a conversation about it. And so you guys can come back and donate during any of the other streams or the next 6 and 20 stream to make me do shots or to give crits to players and to make me incoherent like I totally am right now.
Shots and crits.
I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad.
Yeah.
Right? I think I'm fine. But that, I believe, is all that we have for today. Unless anyone else has any other announcements that I am forgetting, we will find someone to raid. Which
I'd like to make an announcement.
Yes?
I'd like to formally announce that you're all wonderful people.
Speaking of emotions, that entire scene with Jinx and Samandra.
My God, my heart.
Oh, that's so cute. I love you.
And you have no idea. Well, you might, but you have no idea how hard it was to say yes. When she said, "Are you going to stop me?" I was like, "He is going to stop her." Oh God! Oh God!
I could feel what you were. I was like, he's going to stop me. He's going to stop me.
All right, I actually have someone to raid tonight.
Oh, good.
We're gonna send a raid over to Official Daikon. He's really cool. He's another actually local New York streamer who I've been talking to.
Is he a radish?
What?
An anthropomorphic radish?
He is officially a radish.
Wow.
He streams in both English and Japanese, I believe, actually. And he's currently playing some Super Dodgeball, some very retro games right now. So copy and paste that not so speed raid in chat. If you have the sub emote, use that. We're gonna go over there, show him some love, show him some support. He's a really cool guy. He does a lot of like retro and a lot of Nintendo games and stuff like that. He's really fun. So you should go check him out. He's honestly one of the most friendly guys that I've encountered just like in chat. So go show this radish man all of the support in the world. And we will be back next week with the finale of 6 and 20 Season 2. And I'll be back on Sunday playing more video games, probably. And you can see me playing other games and stuff like that all the time.
We're gonna be hosting Daikon. We're gonna be hosting Daikon.
Gonna be hosting Daikon. Gonna be hosting Daikon.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'll see you guys all next time. Thank you guys so much for coming out and everything. You're all wonderful. Especially those of you who are playing with me. You guys have been super awesome to play with and awesome role players. I'll see you all next time. And as always, no matter what happens, when you find yourself in prison with a man who tells you that the war you fought was all for nothing, don't forget to take it slow. Bye!
Oh,
What an ending.
Oh.